Mix TV presents the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash, your one-stop money shop. Also by Hardee's. Hardee's tastes like America. Now it's time for your local sports highlights and interviews with your host, Ryan Lovelace.
Welcome to the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's. I'm your host, Ryan Lovelace. And boy, we have a big week of football tonight. It's week 11, the last week of the season. Playoffs start next week. We're going to see a lot of important football games that determine whether teams will be in the playoffs, where they'll play, and who they'll play. But first, we're going to jump right in with our Hardee's scoreboard update and take a look at our scores from last week. Starting off first, McCallie. They host Clearwater. Clearwater travels all the way up from Florida. McCallie, they've done it all year. They're 9-0. They handle their business. They take a win. Meanwhile, Baylor, they fall to NBA 48-28. That is a big loss for Baylor when it comes to standings. Sweetwater, they play Tellico. Sweetwater handles Tellico pretty easily. They come away with a 42-14 win. And another big win, Polk County faces the winless Lookout Valley. Polk County wins by 35. Silverdale, they play Grace. Grace is 1-7 this year. Silverdale, they're the opposite. They're 8-1. Silverdale wins 49-6. Another game not really in question. And then a huge upset. East Hamilton falls to Red Bank, and I wouldn't even call it an upset. East Hamilton falls from first, undefeated in the region, to third behind Chat Central and Red Bank. And now Red Bank has a chance to take the crown in that region if they win. McMahon County and Loudon. This was a very good game. Loudon, very good. Much smaller division than McMahon County, but McMahon County, they come away with a big 10-point win. And then Ottawa and Brainerd. This game went to 4 overtimes before Goose Manning and his Ottawa Owls came out with a 27-20 win over Brainerd. McMahon Central, they get shut out by Rockwood 43-0. Walker Valley, they travel to Upperman. They lose 14-28, third straight loss for the Mustangs. Another team that has lost 3 in a row, Cleveland, they go up to Giles County. They lose 33-20. And who's doing that? Stop. Is that Dwayne? I'm starting over. Yeah, sorry. Dwayne distracted me with the freaking head in the window. You said start at the top? Where do you want me to Okay. Transitioning to another team that's lost 3 in a row, Cleveland. They travel up to Giles County. They fall by 13. No Destin Thomas in this one, but Destin Thomas will be back tonight for senior night. And then the big game of the year. Ray County, they lead their region in 5A, travels to undefeated 4th-ranked Bradley on their senior night. And Ray County comes away with a huge win, a 66-yard game-winning touchdown to Ethan Davis. We'll hear more from him later. Ray County pulls off the huge upset over Bradley. And then our lone soccer game of the week, McMahon County played Collierville in the first round of the state tournament. And sadly, McMahon County fell 3-1. That will end their season. They were the only local team that competed in the girls soccer state tournament. That is all for our Hardee's scoreboard update. But now we're talking about playoffs. We're going to jump right in to our standings. First, in Class 6A Region 2, it's Maryville and it's Bradley at the top. Both are undefeated in the region, so a huge game tonight at Maryville. The winner will win Region 2 6A. And then it's Bearden, Cleveland, and Farragut fighting for the last 2 playoff spots. Cleveland and Bearden are in the driver's seat. If both those teams win, nothing in the standings will change. Cleveland, they play Hardee Valley. That is a game you should win. As you see, Hardee Valley's 1-8. More on the playoff scenarios a little bit later. Moving on to 5A Region 4. This one is a little easier. Ray County, they've locked up the 1 seed. They're undefeated in region play. McMahon County, they're in the driver's seat for the 2 seed. But if McMahon County loses, they are hosting Ottawa this week. Then it opens the door for Walker Valley, Ottawa, to potentially be the 2 seed. So again, McMahon County, they need to win. Walker Valley and Ottawa need to win. You don't want to let Howard sneak in. Moving on to 4A, this one's really fun. Chat Central, Red Bank, and East Hamilton all have one loss in the region. Chat Central does not play a region game, but Red Bank does. And Red Bank has wins over Chat Central and East Hamilton this year. So with a win, Red Bank at 7-3 and 5-1 in their region will be the Region 3 champs. You can see Soddy Daisy and Hickson. They have a pretty nice battle for 4th. But East Hamilton, Red Bank, and Chat Central will be your top 3. It's just a matter of who will travel where. In Class 3A Region 3, Loudon and Kingston. That's another big game tonight. Winner will win the region. Both teams are undefeated in region play this year. And Signal Mountain, McMinn Central, and Brainerd, all 3 of those teams have a chance to make the playoffs if some madness happens. But right now, Signal Mountain sits in a pretty good spot. Moving on to 2A, another big one. Undefeated Meigs County traveling to undefeated Marion County. Winner gets the region. An absolute huge game after Meigs County took down Tyner 19-18. Tyner's locked up in the 2nd spot, and then Polk County will play Bledsoe County, and the winner of that game will be the 4 seed. So that region's pretty locked up. And then in 1A, Whitwell, they're leading the division pretty handily. This division had a lot of COVID cancellations, which has led to a lot of odd numbers when it comes to the records. But it's looking like your 4 playoff teams in 1A Region 3 will be Whitwell, South Pittsburgh, Sail Creek, and Copper Basin, as Lookout Valley has not won a game all year. Moving on to AA East, this is where it gets a little crazy with all the private schools, a much bigger division. Only take 4 playoff teams. You have Knox Webb leading the way. They're undefeated. They control their own destiny, along with Silverdale CAK and Chat Christian. All 4 of those teams are locked in the playoffs. It's just a matter of seeding for all 4 of them, because anything can happen in week 11. And then moving on to AAA, it's McCallie. We talk about them all the time. One of the best teams in the state, 9-0, undefeated in their region, followed by MBA, Pope John Paul, Knox Catholic, and Baylor. Baylor needs to win, and they need some help to make the playoffs, and we'll see about it tonight. Now, I've talked a lot about week 11, so we're going to hop right in and talk about our upcoming schedule tonight. First, obviously, the big one, Bradley at Maryville. That is for the region championship. Maryville undefeated this year. Bradley 1 loss last week. This could have been an undefeated battle, but Ray County pulls the upset. But either way, the Bears will travel up to Maryville. The winner is your Region 2 6A champion. Walker Valley will travel to Howard. Howard not very good this year. They are 0-7 this year. Walker Valley, again, a win solidifies their spot in the playoffs. They should beat Howard. Cleveland, they will host Hardin Valley. That's Cleveland senior night. They are the lone home team in our county. Again, Hardin Valley, they are 1-8 this year, and it's a must-win game for Cleveland. Destin Thomas is returning for senior night, so you like your odds there. East Hamilton at Hickson. East Hamilton has looked very good. Hickson 3-5 this year. If Hickson wants a shot at the playoffs, they need to pull an upset. So essentially, a playoff game for Hickson. McMinn Central and Sweetwater. Again, McMinn Central has to win. Sweetwater has not been very good this year. But either way, upsets happen. It's week 11. McMahon County versus Ooltewah, same scenario. McMahon County's locked in no matter what happens. Ooltewah's locked in no matter what happens. This game's all about seeding. McMahon County definitely favored to win. Meigs County at Marion County. You heard it. That's the big one. The undefeated clash. Both teams undefeated in the region and undefeated overall. They will face off for the Class 2A Region 3 region championship. The loser will be the 2 seed. Polk County will host Bledsoe County. Again, that game determines who goes to the playoffs. The winner of that game will be the 4 seed and will travel. The loser of that game, their season is over. Silverdale and CAK, that game has big seeding implications. Ray County and Coffee County, for the Golden Eagles of Ray County, this game does not mean anything. You've locked up the 1 seed. You will host a playoff game in Evansville next week, no matter what happens in this one. Copper Basin and South Pittsburgh. Copper Basin looking to solidify their spot in the playoffs, but it doesn't look like Lookout Valley will pull a crazy upset. But again, it's just about seeding. McCallie and Pope John Paul and Baylor at Father Ryan, both those 2 private schools traveling. Again, I've said it a few times. McCauley's looking to lock up the 1 seed. Baylor is looking to make some magic happen. They need some help to be the 4 seed. Now moving on, we're going to talk about our 3 local schools and their playoff scenarios. For Bradley, it's pretty easy. If you win this game at Maryville, you're the number 1. If you lose this game, you're number 2. Either way, there will be a home football game at Bear Stadium next Friday. For Cleveland, it's a lot crazier. Under no scenario does Cleveland get to host a playoff game. It's just about where they'll be traveling. Cleveland's number 3 with a win and a Bearden loss. Cleveland is number 4 with a win and a Bearden win. If Cleveland loses, it opens the door for Farragut. So again, must win for Cleveland, and then the Bearden game will determine what seed you are. And then for Walker Valley, this is pretty simple. If you win against Howard, a team you're supposed to beat, you're the 3 seed. If they lose to Howard and Ooltewah wins, they're the 4 seed. If not, if they lose to Howard and Ooltewah loses, they will remain at the 3 seed. So Bradley has the 2 seed locked up. Walker Valley and Cleveland, they are looking to secure the 3 seeds with a win tonight. And in that region that Walker Valley is in, Ray County upset Bradley. They are undefeated. Ethan Davis had a big game versus the Bradley Central Bears, and he is our male performer of the week. Now we're going to take a look at his highlights and then speak with him about his performance. Ryan Lovelace at Ray County High School, joined by our male performer of the week, Ethan Davis. Ethan, right off the bat, last week you guys traveled to Bradley Central, the 4th-ranked 6A team in the state. They were undefeated on the year, 8-0. You guys came out with a big 48-42 win. How exciting was it to go to Bradley and come out with a big win?
Oh, it was really exciting. I mean, like you said, they're 6A, undefeated. They're senior night. And to come out of there with a big win like that, we needed one, so it was just real good for us.
So in this big win, you had 463 all-purpose yards, 5 touchdowns, including the game winner. What was your key to having a big performance last week?
Just everybody that's blocking for me, really. I mean, it's not just me out there whenever I'm running. They're all doing work for me, so I just run right behind them and get through.
So you guys are 7-2 this year, losses at Alcoa, at Elizabethton. You have Coffee County coming here this Friday, looking for another 8-win season. How has this team been able to be so successful this year?
We just our mindset is just always on winning. We just keep doing what we're doing, and so we just win when we keep doing what we're doing.
So again, you guys have secured the 1 seed, undefeated in region play. How big is it for you guys to be able to host a playoff game here at home where you haven't lost a game this year?
It's real big because we get 2 here technically when we win the first one, and our fans always come out and support us. And since we're undefeated, I mean, it's just real big for us.
So what are your goals for the playoffs, and what are the team's goals for the playoffs?
Just keep winning. Our goal's to get to state right now, so just got to keep winning the playoffs.
All right, lastly, I'm going to hit you with a little fun question. What's your favorite pregame meal and why?
Probably we either get to choose between pasta or chicken tenders, and I always choose pasta. It's just been my favorite ever since I got here.
All right, this has been Pasta Lover and Ray County sophomore running back Ethan Davis. His Ray County Golden Eagles will face off against Coffee County right here at 7:30 tonight. But as for us, we'll send it back to the station. Ethan totaled 463 yards and 5 touchdowns, including the game winner to secure the upset over 4th-ranked Bradley. His Eagles are ranked 9th in 5A. They'll play Coffee County tonight, and they will host a playoff game next Friday at Ray County. Now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to head right to Walker Valley to speak with head coach Drew Nunley about his boys and girls cross-country team's success this year and their recent qualification for state.
Did you wake up craving a made-from-scratch biscuit topped with tender prime rib and a fried egg? How about now? The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit at Hardee's. Feed your happy.
You're watching the Southeast Tennessee Sports Show, presented by Check Into Cash and Hardee's. Now back to your host, Ryan Lovelace.
Ryan Lovelace here at Walker Valley High School, joined by head boys and girls cross-country coach Drew Nunley. Coach, right off the bat, Tuesday, you guys, both teams finished region runner-up at the Region 3 AAA race in Chattanooga. That qualifies both your girls and your guys team for the state meet this coming Thursday. How excited are you as a coach to put both those teams in the state meet?
Oh man, we're just tickled to death. It's been awesome this season. We knew that we had a chance to do it. We knew that a lot of things had to fall in place for it to happen throughout the season, and you being a successful runner yourself, like you know as well as I do, there's a lot of things that can happen for you or against you as the season goes, and it's all about timing. You know, at the right time, things have to fall into place, but it just happened to do that on Tuesday, and we're just very excited to get to do it again, and having done it last year, we're just really excited for it.
So you talk about last year, your girls, they've been region runner-up and gone to state 3 of the past 4 years. How have you been able to maintain that level of success in a sport that it's kind of hard to go 3 out of 4?
Just consistent training. I mean, it's been trial and error. We have learned what works, what doesn't work. You've got to have a solid 3, 4, and 5 group in that top 5 scoring. But it also helps to have a stud or two on your team that'll score some major points for you. And that's really what it's boiled down to, is just the consistency that the team has put in and that the runners have shown throughout the 3 out of the last 4 years. So
talking about this girls team, led by Sadie Wilford, a freshman, Lindy Chapman, a sophomore. Among those, you have 2 other underclassmen in your top 5. How have these underclassmen, 4 of your top 5, stepped up to fill the roles of previously graduated seniors?
Well, at first they didn't. They were just sort of learning the ropes throughout the summertime, the training that we start back in June. And then as they started going, they started gaining confidence, getting in better shape, kind of learning how we do things as a team. And then once the confidence grew, then it just sort of almost became like a well-oiled machine. And that's what we want year after year is I tell them, like, guys, I don't want to have to be there with you to tell you what to do for warm-up, how to warm up. Like, these are things that you have to learn as we go, and this is just part of the discipline process that we have to get to if we want to be successful and have a shot at going to state. But the underclassmen have played a huge role in that every single year, whether they're the number 1 runner for us or they're the number 5 runner for us. They know their roles, they know what is expected of them, and it's just been exciting to watch their development.
So switching gears to the boys team, but also switching gears to upperclassmen. This boys team, they're led by Chase Carroll and Jake Brown, who have gone just at it all year. They're right on each other's hips the entire race. They both broke 17 this year. How great have those 2 seniors been for this program, not just this year, but in their 4 years here?
Well, the funny thing is, Jake, this is his first year for us. And so thinking back to the very first race that we did at Eureka Trail up in Athens, it was Mcmahon County's race. Jake, after the race, he told me, Coach, my goal was just to break under 20, and he ran like 18:30 to open up because it was his first one. And Chase has just been consistent all 4 years he's run for us and consistently gotten better and better each year too. And he's just been a great leader. Mainly a leader by example. He'll lead vocally sometimes, but him and Jake have just been great for each other this season, just pushing each other to get better. And it really does help to have somebody who can run those same paces that you run in practice. So, Chase the last couple of years he's had Jackson Davis do it last year, and then the year before Jackson sort of got up there with Chase. And then this year it was Jake Brown running them. And then, towards the second half of the season, Ethan King really stepped up and started jumping in there with Chase and Jake. So they've been huge. Chase and Jake have done a great job. We're definitely going to miss them after this year for sure.
So talking about losing Chase and them, you have some great underclassmen on this guys' team too. You have a really deep JV squad on the guys' side. So how can you use that depth to build towards success next year and just in the future?
Just keep it fun and competitive. They know that, we have a standard that you have to hit to even get a varsity jersey. So they're always like pushing to get a jersey. And then on top of that, like, you're not guaranteed to be, top 7. Like, you're top 7 if your time says you are at the right time. Because we had a couple of guys who come in close to region who had faster times than our top 7 did. Like, there was a couple of guys in there that I probably could have put in, but they hadn't run those times in about a month. So you go with a hot hand. So they know that they not only have to run those times, but they have to run them consistently at the right time. But those underclassmen, I think it's good for them to see kind of the program be successful. And then it sort of pushes them, like, I want to do that next year. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to be a part of that, and they see the success of their teammates. They're like, I'm so close. I can do that. I just got to keep working hard. So they're going to be crucial for us in the future, and I think they can do a good job, but we'll see.
So coming up this Thursday, it's the big one at Sanders Ferry in Hendersonville. Both teams will be competing in the state championship race. So what are your goals for these teams?
My goal for them is just to basically see if we can come away with a PR. I mean, if they can do their best, or at least close to that best, I think that's a win for us for the day. Obviously we're not going to win the state championship, but we can do a little bit better this year than we did last year, and I think that's achievable goals. You got to start small and build from there. And I know a few years ago, like, we had never even qualified for state on the boys' side. It had been 16 years, and then finally last year we did it, and it had been 17 years. But before we even thought about that, there was things that we had to be able to do as a team, and we had to start small. I'm like, guys, y'all say that you want to go to state, but you can't even do this right, or you can't even do that right. And so, it would start as small as, like, in practice, not double knotting your shoes. And then you waste time having to stop and tie your shoes. Your shoes come untied in practice, just little things like that. But going back to what I was saying, I think a win for us would be everybody PR that day, or really come close to it, and just go out there and compete and do your best and have fun doing it. So
you talk about having fun. That's one thing observing this team is they just have fun. You have cornhole tournaments. You talked about your spike ball tournament coming up Tuesday. Even at races, these guys are cheering each other on and having fun. How important is that fun aspect? And just, can you speak on the mentality this team has?
Yeah, it's just, it's fun, but at the same time, like, it's competitive. And that's really where I'm going with that fun. Because we start off early on in the season. Instead of cornhole and spike ball, we'll start off with ultimate Frisbee games, just fun, little dumb ultimate Frisbee games. And, they'll be so competitive, diving, making catches, knocking each other to the ground. I'm like, don't get hurt, make sure you don't roll an ankle. But at the same time, like, they're just going at it. And then, we do kickball games sometimes, and they really get into it once we go into the double elimination spike ball tournament. And then we just had our double elimination cornhole tournament. But we're trying to always do stuff like that, and they're even talking about maybe doing a washer toss tournament in the future. But we got to get a couple more boards to be able to do that. So we'll see, but we have a good time.
All right, thank you, Coach. This has been Coach Nunley of the Walker Valley boys and girls cross country teams. Now we're going to send it back to the station. We want to wish the best of luck to all our local cross country runners that will be competing at the state meet this Thursday. But as of right now, it's a little chilly, it's a little rainy outside, but that doesn't mean you can't get out and watch some football. A lot of great games across the area. Cleveland, if you don't want to get out, they'll be right here on Mix 104.1. They will host Hardee Valley. That game starts at 7. Bradley will be on 101.3 traveling to Maryville. That is also a 7 o'clock kickoff. And then Walker Valley, they will travel to Howard. That is a 7:30 kickoff on 99.1. You can catch up with all the action afterwards on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz with Greg Phillips and Andy Jenkins. And you will catch up with me next week as we recap our scores and talk with some great performers. But as for this week, I'm Ryan Lovelace. From all of us here at the station, Gideon Ratcliffe, the producer. Have a good week, everyone.